now.
Hey, Emma, thank you for your
Hey.
time. Congratulations. Can you talk about a little bit about Alyssa's play? And it seemed as if you were using her in a different position, unless I read that wrong. And then you got some really good play in goal.
No, Alyssa was a left winger that I think capitalised on the space maybe inside of the pitch, particularly in the first half. And I thought she did a good job of that, driving inside. And I think Brazil adapted to that. They stopped giving her the inside. No, she was just part of our box structure in terms of how we build up. But I think she's showing how important what you do at a club level really matters. She's been confidence and consistency in her performance, and I think it showed, and I think it's a really good stepping stone for her. Yeah, I mean, what more could you want as a goalkeeper, and a clean sheet? And I think in terms of keeping the ball out the back of the net, that's a super strength for her. And I thought everything from set pieces to, defending the cross, she did a tremendous job. There's work to do to ensure that we don't just go long all of the time, because if you want to play a percentage game, then you're going to go long all the time. But her next step is something I've been clear on. Her team, Man United, don't play a lot of build-up. They tend to go from back to front, but her next steps is, with pressure, being able to make the short passes to come out. But I can totally understand why she wants a clean sheet on her debut. I thought she looked authoritative and commanding, but I don't want to compromise on the things that I think are really important if you want control football matches. So that's the challenge for her, and she knows that. But really, really pleased with her.
We'll go Steve.
Hi, Emma. Trinity getting the goal. Did you see her pretend to get a back injury as part of the celebration? And how did you take
Except I didn't think she was pretending. So, I will have a word with her, because that's like a cry wolf moment. I turned to the physios and I said, her back's hurting instantly. And then I realised she was tricking us, and I thought, she'd already pranked me earlier on when I was doing media, and she was behind in the background distracting me. So I just got my back on her by making sure I distracted her media scrum. So 1-1. Just having her back is just such a difference. She's a game changer, and we know we have to look after her. I was never going to play her for more than 60 minutes today, and really delighted for her. The goal meant a lot. She loves this environment. She cares so much for this team, and I've said this all week. She's been smiling from ear to ear being back in this environment, and we're so happy to have her.
Jeff.
Emma, just building off of that, for her to score 5 minutes in, how much does she sort of set the tone and become a focal point when she's on the field, and maybe even shoulder a burden for a younger, more or less experienced team?
Well, I think you're seeing that this less experienced team are growing up. They really are. And I put Kat Macario in that too. I thought Kat's hold-up play was unbelievable today. How hard that is with pressure as intense as that, to be able to hold a player off, hold the ball up and link. And at times I felt we didn't have enough low support for Kat. But Trin, the front line set the tone, and I knew how the team was going to come out. I know what training had looked like, and I knew all the work we'd done in the classroom this week had been really immense in preparing everybody for what the game was. And Trin, just, she's world class. And she can put things away like she did, and I'm just happy she got through 60 minutes without any trouble.
Let's go Sylvia, then Scott, then Damien.
Hi, Emma. Congratulations on the win. Can you talk a bit about what instructions you might have given Lily as she was going in, and her impact on the game once she subbed in?
I think my first instruction was that don't be afraid to go and get the ball low in the build-up. It's so hard when your team matches up 1v1 that often as centre midfielders getting the ball from the keeper, you can't go anywhere because you're under pressure. But she's someone who always looks like she's got so much time on the ball, and she has. an incredible knack to move away from pressure, even in possession of the ball, and turn and face forward and make the right decisions from there. But I think it was the right decision to leave her on the bench because, you know, that fire in the kitchen, there's some heat in this game, and she'd have never seen anything like that before. It's not like a European game, and like I said, she doesn't have youth national team experiences. And so I said to her before the game, I want you to watch because it's a much different game. And at half time, she was like, yes, I can see that. So I think putting her into the game when the game calms down a bit was the right decision today. So, yeah, listen, Lily's a young player, still learning, and she's got a lot of things to do. There's no denying her talent, but like I think sometimes we get a little bit carried away about her. I think we need to temper everybody's expectations because, no disrespect to any of you, I've coached football matches for a long time. There's a lot of elements you have to be able to play at the top level, and without doubt she's got the potential to do that, but we need to do it sensibly.
Go ahead, Scott.
Hi, Emma.
Hey.
Just your thoughts on the duels, the defending in the defensive third under the pressure, the fight from this team.
Well, generally, like our sort of dual tackle percentage is about 65%, but when we played Brazil in the final, it was 35%, and so I reminded the players of that. At half-time, it was 60-40 in favour of Brazil. I reminded the team of that. I don't know the outcome of the end, but I hope it is better than that because that's what I expect. And I think for some players, they have to learn that part. But it's great. Like, they're really fast learners and they're really coachable and want to do all the things that this team requires. Like, we're a team and we love this team for that reason. We want to contribute to the crest in whatever way, you know, it takes. And I think when it comes to that part of the game, the crappy bit of the game, I believe you have to earn the right to play against a team like Brazil. And I think we had some really good moments, less so. Some really good moments, less so. But that's what you got to expect. They had about 7 players that played in the Olympic gold medal final. I mean, that's real credit to us today.
It was 55.5% duels won for the United States to 48.5% for Brazil. 60% aerial duels won for the United States. Damien.
Hey, Emma.
Thanks, Hive.
Hey, Emma, right here. Just your thoughts on the crowd, 32,000 coming out today, and as the game shifts up north, what are your goals in the second game?
Well, a record crowd for us in terms of revenue or something like that.
Second biggest crowd over in LA.
Second biggest crowd in LA. It's a really large stadium. You could feel the noise.
Not counting the World Cup. Not counting the World Cup, obviously.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, our fans, the fans in this team has always been tremendous, but I can feel, I said it to some of the players at the end, that I'm so proud that we have a team that's so representative of the United States. And I look across the crowd and I'm like, there's so many people that are looking at our team and going, I can see myself down there. And I love that about us and something we're really proud of. And we're going up north to a sellout, I believe. We're close to it.
Nope.
So,
Sell out.
all right.
Yep.
I'm really excited for that. I feel a different type of pressure, and you know, it's up to us to make that count against Brazil. And I want the crowd to get on top of them, make it hostile for them.
Anything else in the room? Yeah, go ahead, Tamara. Right here.
I don't think so.
Let's hope they are.
We can pretend. You mentioned the importance of being able to sort of experience the heat of this particular matchup
Yeah.
from the sidelines. When you think about exposing some of the younger players, not just young in age, but young in experience with
Yeah.
this team to things like that, with Brazil, what other elements, in addition to the heat of that smash up, the physicality, were you looking to assess in this game and the next as well?
I don't. There's some parts tactically I don't want to talk about because we've got another game. But when it comes, sometimes I feel we do all the hard work, we get the ball, and we turn it back over again. And this is, we call it transition to retain. This is an area of our game we have to get better with. And we've certainly given the team the framework. Then you have to give the team the opportunity to develop it. And then you coach all the minute details that go with that. And I think by the end, we'd got a better handle on that, but it took us quite a while to get there today, as it did against Japan. So I think this is a big area for us because we're not afraid to back press and we're not afraid to go player for player in situations, but we need to be a little more decisive in the decision making and execution of things. So that's one of them. The other is probably the decision making about going fast in the final third versus recycling the ball. I thought, I don't know the XG of the game, but I felt we created good chances, and I think we're getting more. I know this for a fact that our XG in general is increasing, and our, as I call them, the gold zone chances are definitely significantly higher than they were at the Olympics, and like that's something we really have been conscious to work on, whether that's getting the right numbers into the right area, hitting the right areas, getting the timings right. And I can't talk for the goals Brazil could and should have scored. I can only talk for us, but I think we could have scored more than 2 goals today, I think it's fair to say, and I certainly couldn't have said that in the Olympic gold medal final.
XG was 2.72 for the United States, 1.41 for Brazil. We got last 2 questions online.
And that's a good XG against the top opponent, trust me. That's a pretty good score.
Andrew Jones, 1 question, please, sir.
No problem, Aaron.
Okay.
Thanks, Aaron, right here. I just want to ask you just about Sam Coffey's performance in terms of just her being in the physical challenges and just being everywhere. Just your thoughts about how she performed and going all the way today.
I think it's fair to say in some of the work we've done this week, if Sam could have played the game on Monday, she would have. It definitely intensified Tuesday. Wednesday, it was certainly getting worse. By kickoff today, she was like a gnarly dog that she just couldn't get anything else out of her head. She was so desperate for the game that I haven't spoken with her yet, but I know that she was really looking forward to it. And I looked at her in the national anthem, during Brazilian national anthem. She looked at me because I think I've been kicking balls all week. Like, I wanted this game to come to, and we just sort of looked at each other as if to say, kick off, please. We need the game to start. With no disrespect to the national anthems, they're my favourite part, but she was desperate for a game today. She really, that would have, I think, given her a little bit of confidence. You know, I know the club team hasn't been going as well as she wants, so I think that would have built her confidence today, and I think that's her game, and I think she really enjoyed it.
Last one goes to Sophie. Go ahead, Soph.
Hi, Aaron. Thank you so much. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
It's almost a year into your gig here with the US women's national team. You only had 2 months and you won the Olympic gold. From a personal point of view, how do you feel a year almost into the job that you've done? If you feel it's already elevated you as a manager as well?
I was talking about this with Kat and Mia, obviously 2 players I've coached at Chelsea, and they were just commenting on different things in my coaching. And I think I'm able to go to the next place because I'm really happy. I feel like I'm at home with this team. I feel like I can make a difference, but build an environment that I want to be in and the players want to be in. And yes, I think it's pushing me to new heights, but some of that is because when you're at a club level, you can't breathe. You got a game every 3 days. You're on the road. And in between camps, I can be so much more intentional, whether that's analysing games, whether that's developing my own leadership, whether that's linking up the WNT strategy in relation to our objectives on the field. I feel like this is the first camp in my tenure where, quite frankly, I feel like I've got my menopause under control. I think that's been really challenging for me. I didn't realise how challenging it was, but I feel like I've got all the protocols in place to keep me top fresh, and we've got so many people here that support that female lens and are helping me with that. And I feel like I'm at my best I've been for quite a long time. So, and most importantly, I'm really enjoying it.